Hey, everybody. This is Let Me See Your Transcript, your very favorite history teacher. How are you doing this tonight? Sorry for coming on a little bit late. I was uh, family member called. They just got back into town, and please keep them in prayer. They're not feeling well, and also I was trying to decide what I was gonna my topic for tonight be. I was like, hey, they had the hearings tonight. Hey, Pasovic. They had the hearings tonight. January 6th hearings today. And I was like, oh, I could do, my analysis of that, or I can do a reaction video. Because I wasn't able to watch it today. Because I had a workshop session to attend earlier today. So, and then I was like, it's getting late. KKC is gonna come on. He had a really good show last night and tonight, and I was like, why don't I just give a history of the Umar Johnson sector? I did one for the Black church sector months ago, but I was like, and I had all these photos and these, this thumbnail and everything ready. I said, you know what? It may be time. The time is right, Uncle Pasovic? Its time is right. So please go get your favorite drink, your favorite snack, maybe a notepad, take some notes, okay? Now, I will say this. I'm going to be talking about 2020 to 2021, okay? So this is also the time where I was, like I should say, the most active. I still am active in the sector where I entered and where I still am. And there was a pivotal thing that I countered last year. But I'm going to mostly be going over the major players, or the ones who had the most impact of why things are the way they were. Okay. There are new people, especially from the Black church sector, who are coming over, and they're going into these different chats, and people are saying in these chats, and they're like, well, how come they don't get along? Well, what's happening over there? Or what, who is these people that they're talking about? They're not here, why are they doing videos about Poetik Flakko? Where's Shakim? Who is Shakim? Like, why is he doing these videos? And the Secktah TV, what's his real name? And who is this, anti-Afro Svengalis lady? Who is that? Lenon or KKC, and where's Slander God? Who is Slander God? And the SmokeGod. Where is the SmokeGod? So now if I say something on here now that maybe I got the history or the event wrong, please put it in the chat. Or you want me to add something, or something that needs to be added. Hey, the Secktah TV, something that needs to be added, please let me know. All right? Okay, so let's get started with everything. All right. So first we're going to go over the people who are, okay, so back in 2020 to 2021, there were like two sides in the Umar Johnson sector. There was people who were either AFW, anti-fraud wars / anti-Umar people, or they were pro-Umar, aka the good guys. Okay. So you had anti-Afro Svengali. This is her moniker. Avatar is handcuffs. Then you have Rev G. His original channel was called Shaking Off the Flames. Okay. Then it is we renamed Rev G, Gerald Palmer, and I think now it's called Rev G Makes Music or something like that. All right. Then you have also KKC, who originally was going by King Kong Crazy, which was a parody of what Umar calls himself, King Kong Consciousness, or the King Kong of Consciousness. And he used to wear an ape. Was it an ape mask? And you couldn't see his face, but then as he gained more and more, followers and everything like that, he took the mask off. Okay. He is actually a former Umar Johnson supporter, and he has talked about it on his program, and where basically he's kind of realized that Umar Johnson is scamming. He is not trying to build a school. Okay. All right. Then we also have Lenon Honor, who's actually been on YouTube for almost 10 years. He's had about, right now I think he's almost at 69,000 followers. I want to say, was he around that? Maybe 2 or 3,000 less back in 2020 to 2021. And he has a lot of videos about, fatherhood, relationships. But he also has done videos on people like Umar. He's on Young Pharaoh, Brother Polite, Boyce Watkins. Okay, so. All right. Then we have the Secktah TV. He's known now as the Secktah TV, but he's also known as D Darrell Life Solutions. What's your other D Darrell Rebirth? He does primarily, he is a pro Umar supporter, and also he's been in the manosphere as well. Okay, all right. So now I didn't have another person I could have put on here. I didn't have that avatar, and that is TCTV, aka the Ghost, aka Couch Potato. He's been having a number of different names too. Okay, so if you see him in there, I kind of think of him as, if the Secktah TV is the general, right? TCTV is like the major, of the company, like he, and something like that. So then we also have Poetik Flakko, who ironically was anti-Umar, but then flipped sides and became pro-Umar. Okay. And then started making videos criticizing the people who were anti-Umar or AFW. And I already went ahead in another previous video, showed you the videos, clips of what he said and did to those people, and why some of those people feel like he was lying when he was on No Jumper, when he said, the anti-Umar Johnson people are just hating on him. It's more than just that. Okay. You said some very mean things to them and about them. Okay. But wish you success over there on No Jumper. All right. Another person that entered into the sector was Shakim Ra. All right. He's had several different channels, and he came in doing commentary on Umar Johnson videos, and then he started doing videos on Lenon Honor, and then later on, I'm trying to think. Yeah, a couple of, I was one of his mods, one of his first mods. I tried to talk to him, hey, don't make videos on Lenon Honor, and, his family, but he did what he wanted to do. He paired up with Monty Woodgrain, I think briefly, and also Poetik Flakko. This is before they fell out. Okay. All right. Please hit the like button, like, share, subscribe. Hey, No Real Show, RNC Entertainment, Ray Triggs, the Snake Man, Hey Max V, Pastor Vic, Adriana Thornton, Secktah TV. So glad y'all could make it. Okay, so I'm just giving a brief summary of the cast of characters, and so all right. Flakko was never pro Umar. He was just anti-AFW. Okay. Right. And I think he was, and this is just me, I think he was anti-AFW because he never got the recognition from them. Because he would be like in J, KKC, and then Honest Chat trying to get their attention. I guess they just never gave them the attention. that he wanted. And then the whole Yasa's restaurant thing happened, and he was like doing videos now on Lenon Honor and saying some stuff about E&J. And okay, so, but we'll get to the hey spot him. Yeah, he was doing anti-Umar videos at first, and then that switched. Deep running shortly. I'm supposed to be deep cleaning if my watch comes here. Gotta go. Okay. Then let's switch your phone and put the headphones in while you thank you. Please hit the like button. Please like, share, subscribe. Okay. All right. So let me go with I guess. Okay. So basically, like I said, we have the leader of the AFWs who's been doing this, I think now 5 years. Is that right, y'all? But I guess I must have entered in at year 3, 2020. Okay. So basically, AS, Rev G, KKC, Lenon Honor, and also Monty Woodgrain got singled out by Umar Johnson for the video that they were doing highlighting that he was scamming. He pulled out this video tomorrow asking his followers to find people, right? He wanted their addresses. He even said something about Dr. Clay. Dr. Clay never did that to him. He also happened to be a psychologist. You can find his books with sources. You had similar toxins. He wasn't stealing nothing from Umar Johnson. Okay. So, and these four would frequent each other's, channels as commentators, and then later on as mod. Now, another couple that was also highlighted by Umar Johnson was Let's Get Into It with the E&J. Sorry, I don't have their picture there. Okay, shout out to Let's Get Into E&J. Okay, so because of this highlighting by Umar, basically he was doxing them and then basically asking his people to harass them. All of them increased their videos about Umar Johnson, especially Lenon Honor. And he's a comedian, he does music, he's a father of 5 kids, wife, and he's going to school and working. So, and what ended up happening after a while, each of the different chats had, well, at least for KKC and Lenon Honor, they had their nicknames. It was the Cookie Crush Crew for Lenon Honor. It was the Pull-Up Team for, also Didi and Paige, right? Actually Didi and Paige actually started doing commentary just on major events. Then they started doing Umar Johnson video. Yes, he's still in school. He has like a little less than a year left. Okay. All right. 8 years total. Oh, wait a minute. 8 years total? 5 years on YouTube? Okay, interesting. All right. Yeah, Shakim was. I'm gonna get there in a minute. No, so let me get to where everyone was. Okay, so so all this is happening. There's but then what ends up happening, that I found out later on. Okay, so like I said, Flakko started out as like being anti-Umar, but he was trying to solicit the attention of the AFWs. Like he was like literally in the comments saying, "Hey, I just bought the domain name Dr. Umar Johnson at Yahoo. So or DrUmarJohnson.com. I don't want him to be able to have this. I'm trying to give it to, I guess, the control to Afro Svengalis or KKC, or let's give it to E&J or Lenon Honor." So I was like, I want to say I was in either KKC and Lenon Honor's chat, and I was like, "Hey, Flakko is trying to get y'all attention." So I guess he never was able to get their attention. Then next thing I know, AS had a video about Umar speaking at Yasa's restaurant. And so, because this is during the pandemic, right? The health department was contacted. Well, first, the owner was contacted. And Lenon Honor did a whole video where he was basically showing what happened when he contacted the restaurant. So they was like, it's still gonna have the event anyway. Yeah, and then there was AS did a video about contacting the health department, and I guess he was trying to get, I don't know, because it looked like there was not going to be no masks. There were, it was going to be a whole bunch of people, because a lot of the restaurants were doing, pickup and delivery. So, but some people felt like, hey, that's going too far. Y'all trying to shut down this restaurant because they have Umar there, and they didn't feel like that was right. And so Flakko was one of those people, one of the first people to speak. Well, he's not the only one. The good guys did too, but he's one of the ones who actually, because of that, started doing videos that were anti-AFW, like y'all said. But it was just to the extreme, because he had videos basically saying Lenon Honor, and I think it's slander. I'm sorry. It's slandering that he was on Grindr trying to hook up with young men. Okay. And fuck the options, respectfully. I'm talking about 2020, 2021, in the middle of the pandemic. But I understand. You're right. So then Flakko did a video making fun of KKC, who has a traumatic brain injury from being shot, from mistaken identity. Then Flakko went so far as to try to contact the man who shot him. Right? And we were all just like, what the heck? He did make a video talking about E&J. I don't know if that one's still around. But later on, Lenon and then E&J basically showed that you can make fake text messages. I don't know if anyone filed any police reports. I can't remember. Does anyone else remember? Okay. Montisha Woodgreen uses 14. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Another person that was also doing anti-Umar videos, but he also does anti Hassan Campbell and other people, and do videos and skits. He actually went up to FDMG for the skits and got highlighted by Lenon Honor on his channel. So did Whack Tunes, so did Propane Oakland. Oh yeah, by the Propane Oakland, shout out to my Libra brother. Has really good skits about Umar Johnson. So they all got highlighted on Lenon Honor, but then unfortunately it seemed like after they were on Lenon Honor, they kind of like became anti-Lenon Honor and other people, which kind of like they then kind of indirectly or maybe directly joined the good guys as also being anti-Lenon Honor. Because what ended up happening is it was like a polarization. There was the anti-fraud warriors and people who were adjacent. So like I was adjacent at first, and then I would say Nappy Yankee was adjacent at first. Well, I guess he still was. Humble King was AFW adjacent. Okay, so we were adjacent, and then there was the good guys with D. Durrell and TCTV, who were critical of the anti-fraud warrior, because they feel like, oh, you're doing all these videos on this one man, and some didn't think he was a scammer, and some did. By the way, let's get into E&J. Used to be Umar Johnson supporters themselves, but then they found out they started questioning what he was doing and wasn't getting the answers they wanted, and then they started doing anti-Umar Johnson videos. Okay, so then like I said, it was a polarization. of two sides. You know, you had the, like I said, AFW, then the AFW Related. We call them the anti-Umar people. And then you on the other side, you had the Darrell and the good guys. And then the other people who were just like critical, then the good guys adjacent. So in the beginning, after it was like Flakko became, before he became a good guy, he was just good guy adjacent. Okay. And then what ended up also happening around the same time, you had Shakim Ra, who was had his videos about Egypt and everything. And then he also had commentary videos about Umar Johnson. So he was AFW related in the beginning. Then the Yasas thing happened. Well, no, I don't think it was the Yasas thing. What was it, the thing that moved? Hey, Mrs. VSNC09. Hey, Stephanie Collin. Okay, someone correct me. When did Shakim become anti-AFW? Was it Christmas Day when Lenon went live? Or when people were talking about the cash apps he was getting? Okay, so we don't go to being social one bill. Okay, so that's what I was alluding to. Like, there were people who started, because some of y'all on the good guys were like, oh, he had, like I said, there was two sides, and they started doing, well, it was like this. The AFW people, AFW people versus the good guys, they were starting to do not just videos regarding Umar, they started doing videos on each other. There, just like, you know, there's been accusations, some true, some I don't know, of doxing from both sides. Okay, right? Okay, so what ended up happening as far as the Lenon is concerned, Monty Woodgrain felt like he was rushed off Lenon's chat when he got highlighted by Lenon, which I felt that was not the case. And then I found out later on that a lot of people who were cool with Monty, later on he would have beefs with them. So actually what he did was like something that he's done with other content creators. There's other video. Check out Snake Lock LLC for yourself. All right, thank you, GT student. Okay, it was December, the day after Christmas. Okay, when Shakim flipped. Okay, so then Monty started doing videos. Then Whack Tunes went on Lenon, and then after that, with the whole Yasa thing, then he started doing anti-Lenon videos, and I just still don't understand that one because I think he gave him his props. Then he started doing videos with a naked shaking butt Lenon, and I was like, okay, I can't deal with that. And then Monty was doing parodies. And I think Propane went on. I think I saw Propane go on Monty, and then they were talking, and then Propane was like, "Oh, I see what you're talking about." And then I think other people started finding out about Lenon that, oh, he moved away. He had two GoFundMes. One when his son was sick, and one to move out of his house. And so the people who were good guys or good guys adjacent felt like, oh, you're just like Umar Johnson. You're over here begging for, like somebody said, you're begging just like he does. Okay, yeah, because even Monty actually came over on Shakim and like talked to him about it. So, but yeah, you said it was 12/26 when Shakim basically flipped from being anti-Umar and AFW adjacent basically to good guys adjacent. Okay. All right. And then I still believe he's part of the good guy, and then he became a part of the good guys as well. So Okay. Okay. This is the thing. The AFW turned on him because of. We get some more background to that. Shakim did a video about Lenon and had Lenon's family and his kids on there. And that's why Lenon struck his channel. But after Lenon did that, yes, the Shakim we see today started right then and there. But this is the weird thing. How many of us though since then have done lives either before holidays, on that holiday, or after the holiday? Because I know about y'all spending some time with my family, and it's at night. We ain't really got nothing else to do. Okay. Also, this was around the time that people started basically pocket watching the super chats. And they were like, oh, Lenny is just in it for the super chats. And I'm just trying to figure out what was the whole thing about, because I was like, wait a minute. He has almost 60, 70 subscribers. He adds other content, even though they feel like, oh, it's excessive. You know, they were like, oh, y'all stalkerish. I keep making all these videos about this one man. But then at the same time, it was like the good guys were making the videos about the AFWs. It was like, y'all are kind of like being stalkerish too. But then the AFWs started making videos about, well, two in particular, started making videos about the good guys. Okay. Heartstrings. Okay. Okay. All right. Lenon lied on him because of addicts at Israel. So the big moves now are private because he got exposed. Okay. And so thank you, LB. I did not know that. Okay. But I still do think that is different than asking people to cash out every day. But I'm going to respect LV and Spottom's opinion. Okay. Hey, Jada Emperor. Hey, Drumming the Board. Hey, Don Williams G. Don Williams Jr. Danny Peace. So we call y'all. Please hit the like button. There's 28 people in the chat. I should have 28 likes. Okay. So during this time, it was like I said, it was like literally polarized. We got, like I said, AFWs and AFW adjacent on one side. We got good guys and good guys adjacent on the other. And it was like every week, you know, I think maybe E&J and KKC, I want to say, for the most part, Lynn and Honor, most of the time, their stuff was geared towards, and about Umar Johnson and scam. And you have to admit, Umar Johnson was doing stuff every fucking day, like literally, So, hey, R&T, you in the sector? Yay! All right. So, like I said, while this was happening, people, not only was Lenon being criticized, AAS was being criticized too. They were like, oh, she's controlling. They can't do nothing without getting her permission first. And I was one of those people too, like, no, y'all just taking it too far. I think I've given her too much power than she was. And so after a while, like I was still in the Black church sector, but I was like at least I felt I was now in the Umar Johnson sector. I just did both contents, and I still do. But now I think the balance is kind of tipped more towards the Umar Johnson side and a little bit less to the Black church side. But nonetheless, so basically, it came to a head, like I said, when all of a sudden, AS videos started to become different. And they started to become different when the Archibald lawsuit came out. Spottom, what month was that? Was that the beginning of 2021 or the end of 2020? like December. Like, was it December 2020? Gotta ask my GT student, or anyone else can answer. Okay, thank you. End of 2021, Jada Emperor. Okay, he said March 2021. No, I think March 2021 was in the third, when the third one got, it got dismissed 2021. Okay. All right. So let's okay. So around November 2020, thank you, LB the Snake Man and Stephanie Collins as well, and Jada Emperor. Okay, so the Archibald lawsuit. So those of you who do not know or not know, may want to pinpoint this part. Okay, so November 2020, AS makes a video about a lawsuit filed anonymously by a Umar Johnson supporter against Umar Johnson. So people who are anti-Umar and feel like he was a scammer, we're like, oh yes, finally some supporter is coming out, and they're suing Umar because they gave him money and there's nothing going on with the school. Okay. But then the good guys were like, y'all know that's not no supporter, that's AAS. Because obviously August Archibald was kind of, suspect. But then I thought, like, well, how foolish it would be for her to use that and it's actually her. But then after a while, I was like, well, maybe it's a collection of people that are just using this as it was a real lawsuit. I think it was, this is my opinion. I have videos which I think I made unprivate. I thought the lawsuit was legitimate. It just needed to, the Verse Virgin had stuff about Umar and other scammers in the Black conscious community. And I felt like, oh, those other people had nothing to do with Umar. It should have been focused on Umar. And it should have been about fraudulent misrepresentation. You are telling us you're this man with 6 degrees and these certifications, and you are opening up a school, and then you say, oh, the donors will get informed about what's going on with the school, and this person donated and they're not being told anything about a school. I feel like on that face value that there was some legitimacy. However, it seemed like as the complaint kept getting, first amendment complaint, second amendment complaint, and then like someone said, March 2021, it was what do you say? It was closed March 21. The August Archibald filed for the case to end without prejudice. That means they can always refile at a later date. Okay, Stephanie, you bringing a good point. Wait, dubiously motivated, dubiously assembled, and undoubtedly doomed. Now, let me say what happened with this though. You know me, I'm a teacher. So I'm looking at the document like, okay, there's some problems with this document, but we can make it better. And ironically, the stuff that I said, hey, this is constructive criticism, this needs to be changed, when I think it was the second amendment complaint, I was like, oh, yes, they did what we told them to do. It was great. But then they went back and amended it again, and it was like, in the first amendment complaint, they went and did what I suggested, and it was great. Now, what ended up happening now, like I said, two sides are polarized. We got some new, I'm kind of like, now officially I'm getting the emails like the other AFWs. I'm getting shouted out on ASS channel. And as this time going on, the good guys, I want to say now we're entering, SmokeGod has entered the chat, you know. He started having, well, let me back up. So the good guy's like, no, this lawsuit is not right. It's a lie. She's in charge of this. This ain't a real lawsuit. Now, other more objective people like Make a Change makes a video saying, hey, I showed this to my lawyer friend, and my lawyer friend said, who made this lawsuit? It's crap. It's not going to win. Right? Well, like I said, this is where things take a turn with AAS, and her videos became more personal, but they were already personal against D. Darrell. But now they're even more personal because now other people are getting videos about them. They're not Umar. Nappy Yankee was, not Nappy Yankee, I'm sorry. Make a Change was AFW adjacent. He just did movies debunking a lot of stuff, lies that Umar did. Next thing you know, we see an AS video saying, oh, Make a Change doesn't know what he's talking about. He's being anti-ADOS. And man, some other people looking like, how is he anti-ADOS? Is it because he's from Trinidad? Like, what does that have to do? He gave his, you know, I didn't like the way he said, oh, this lawsuit is crap, but that was his opinion, you know? Like, that didn't make him anti-ADOS. And so that narrative was put out there. And I just like, and I kind of like, oh, why is it so? And in my mind, I'm thinking like, wow, that's kind of personal. And so I think Make a Change, I think he did a couple of other videos going into more detail about what part of lawsuits that he thought this wasn't, it's a real lawsuit, but he just had problems with it. Being a whole lot more, I think, constructive criticism, but that thing was still being put out there that, oh, he's being anti-ADOS. Okay, so around this time also, not only was Nappy Yankee and myself looking at the lawsuit, remember, you still got Shakim and Poetik Flakko. They're making videos about AFWs. Well, allegations of doxing being put out there, channels getting strucken, and then all of a sudden, around the second complaint, we see that there's a new defendant. You know, because remember, the First Amendment complaint, my suggestions, other people's suggestions were taken into account. Next thing we know, we see a Second Amendment complaint. It says Umar Johnson and Shakim's name. And I'm thinking like, excuse me? So it looks like that Shakim was being labeled as an associate of Umar Johnson. That he was doing the work of Umar Johnson and coming after people that Umar Johnson had said previously in the video, hey, y'all find this person and give me their addresses and things like that. Right? So then that happened, and then I think she was the one, and there was also, I'm sorry, there were also other videos she started putting out. There was one about Poetik Flakko that she put out, which the good guy said that he was doxxed because it showed him saying his name in a video from North Dakota. Okay. Then AS put another video showing Shakim saying, oh, look at the ads that he has on his channel. They're about men. So basically trying to malign his name because now he's a part of this lawsuit. Okay. I want to say the second amended complaint and the third amended complaint, Shakim was named. In the third amended complaint, it basically was all the good guys. Okay. And I want to believe this is also around the time that I want to say, was it April? Or was it March? Shakim filed a lawsuit. Oh, it's the third one. Okay, thank you. It was the third one. This is around the time that it was the fourth or fifth month. Shakim filed a lawsuit against AS. And then me and him had a run in because, hey, I was one of those people getting emails, and he was basically demanding me give over the emails because he's suing her, and he struck my channel twice. But with another person's help, who shall remain nameless, but you know who you are. Thank you so much. I was able to contact YouTube and get the strikes removed. But then what ended up happening, either because of what I said or maybe because I was not the only AFW getting their channel struck around the same time. I want to say it was April, and I want to say it was May. It was me, KKC, Lenon. We all got our channel struck within the same week by him. And I think because we were all in our own way trying to get our channels back, and we were basically saying like, hey, it's his channel. Then Shakim's channel got taken, but Shakim had a backup. But then later on, I think his backup got taken. He would actually have video saying, oh, I'm having a copyright strike party, which I'm going to say, good guys. Y'all was attending them parties. Okay. He was a good guy. Y'all was okay. I guess the copyright strikes. Just gonna say. I want to say both. Stephanie, I had to go back and look at my video, but I want to say both of them were. Because Tiffany Griffin got named in the third amended complaint too. Okay. So around this time, like I said, I think you said March 2021, the case was, was filed by a motion to dismiss without prejudice, and the judge complied. And they were basically saying because the good guys, or someone over there on the good guys, was trying to figure out who August Archibald was, and that was the whole point of them being anonymous. And then they were afraid that, because they're working on behalf of Umar Johnson, they were afraid for their life and for their privacy. Okay, so I want to say after that is when Shakim, and y'all can correct me, Shakim filed a lawsuit against AAF. And then, like I said, the whole thing with the channels being struck. And then also, this is around the same time that one of the people who got their channel not only got their channel struck in was Max. Well, hold on. Let me back up. Around this time, the first part of 2021, Max V does videos on Umar, but he wasn't a part of the Umar Johnson sector. However, he did give the Umar Johnson sector its new name, the sector. So let me explain about why that is. Okay, so SmokeGod was basically, I met him in KKC's chat. Then after KKC's chat, he would go and have his own live. So it was like KKC's chat was like the club or the party, and then SmokeGod's chat was like the after hours lounge place, right? And he would still talk about Umar and other topics and stuff like that. But then the SmokeGod was making comments about, I want to say it was Rev G. And that's when the emails started to be about, these attack panels, these Lousfield streams, the smoke goof, that was his name. Hey, Knowledge TV, so glad you can hear. Hey, LGK Presents. You say too high to save anyone. Hey, Jason Moore, I'm so glad you could be here. So, yeah, and so they were having, like they would call it tech panels, and then there was like, because like I would also go to Max, I would go to KKC, I go to Lynn, because I was like some other people, I was a chat hopper too. I was a chat hopper. So, but I always found myself defending AAS because I really thought like, oh, y'all just being too mean. And then after a while, a couple of my friends offline said, hey, there's something wrong with what she's saying. Also, about this time, I think it was around the time BinaryCode started having his, what ended up happening is Smoke, y'all, people who were really part of the SmokeGod chat, when he did that video about Rev G, I actually thought, okay, I can't be an AFW and then be your mod over here. And I actually thought what he said about Rev G was wrong. I can't remember what it was, but I think it was really, really mean. And then, I think he was saying something about, the AFW is trying to ruin my channel. And I think this was around the time that Gloria and Mary had shared some emails with the SmokeGod. Then AAS started making videos about Stargate and about Gloria Murray. And I could never understand, but she made it appear to me that these women were like the enemy, that they were just horrible people, they're not to be trusted. And it was just so totally awful. So, but then when the whole Rev G thing, he said, I agree. I think so too. And so around this time, I go to SmokeGod's channel, and he's live, and I said, "Hey, can you please unwrench me?" His wife gets upset. Mrs. SmokeGod gets upset. So if you wanted to be unwrenched, you could have emailed him. And then SmokeGod said, no, she asked to be unwrenched. I'm going to unwrench her. And so he unwrenched me. And then he tells me, well, but anyone else over here wants to be unwrenched? Right? And so then there were other people who I thought he was still cool with. And then I left. And then when I found out later on, some other people were still going over there. They were like, oh, he's cussing out people. He's acting paranoid. He's unwrenching more people. He's blocking people. He's doing all this crazy type of stuff. And then I don't know if he got his page struck or people were just leaving his chat and they were trying to find somewhere to go to. At the same time that BinaryCode was getting his chat was up and running. He actually had a really good format at the beginning, and I liked him. BinaryCode used to be something, I forget what his name used to be. It used to be something else. And so I was like one of the first people on his live. And now this time I'm in communication with AAS offline, which I shouldn't have done. And so every time I'm listening to her, I remember what my friends said. Usually my friends have much better insight than me. And they'll say, hey, something about her videos don't seem right. Sound like she don't seem right either. And so like I couldn't see it or hear it. The next time I be see a text message from her or be on the phone, I could hear it then. It was like my eyes were open, my ears were open. And then when I would question her, she'd get really, really upset. And I said, oh, and I actually one of those people, because I was a volunteer flying monkey at that time, who would send her clips of people that were anti-AFW. Because she had me under the impression that Glorion was bad, Stargate was bad, SmokeGod is a smoke goof. She had me thinking that Lenon and KKC was always upset with her for being in these chat rooms and stuff like that. and then and I guess she wanted to pursue something legally, and they were like, no, don't do it. And she had been making me think like these guys were like browbeating her or something. And I was just like, this doesn't sound like the two men I'm following and what I think they're about. And I was just like listening. And then she went after BinaryCode. When it was something that was on his Instagram, a picture with him and his students. She put that as her thumbnail, which I totally disagree with. And that was the beginning of when I wanted to not be associated with her. Because I even told her offline, I said, you know what? I don't think your videos about these people who have nothing to do with Umar, they're not effective. It takes away from the mission. And this is when she kind of like snapped on me from my, I can do videos. It's my, whoever's a real AFW, they're still going to rock with me no matter what video I put up. I have a right to put up different videos. I'm just like, and I'm paraphrasing because I'm trying to remember stuff from like a year ago, right? So, okay, hold on. Let me say. Yeah, he played me like a sucker too. People eventually saw that having a lot of those dudes who were true snakes. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Alex. Yeah, you're right. Hey, make a change. Okay, so I'm trying. There was so much stuff going on in between that 2000, that 2020 to 2001. That was a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so Binary does a reply kind of to AS's video, and I want to say he demanded like, "Hey, you need to take that video off. You need to take that off." And then all of a sudden, she made a video telling people how to contact his job. And I was like, wait a minute, you know. And I actually had someone previously in the Black church sector who did the same thing to me. But I still have my job. Like I still have my job now. So I told her, I said, I don't know if you should be having a video taking, you know, telling people to contact his job. I mean, what he said was a joke. I think he made a joke about her. And she got mad, and that's when she started saying that Binary was anti-Black or whatever. And then when I told her, like, hey, I don't know if you should be contacting his job or telling people to contact his job. And she's like, well, do you want a person like that making those jokes, teaching children? Like, she would snap at me sometimes when I really would question her. And I was just like, okay. So for a while there, I just really tried to be quiet about it and just like, you know. And then finally, I did make my comments saying, hey, you know, I don't like the jokes that were made about AAS. They do sound like they're anti-Black. However, I don't agree with putting the kids on your thumbnail. But then at the same time, it didn't help that Binary said, oh, I knew someone, I laid a trap or something, and I knew someone was going to run with that. I didn't know if it was going to be AFW or the good guys, right? Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, Smoke became like really paranoid about everybody. People who were like, I found out later on, were like really supporting him behind the scenes. Like he just turned on them, right? Yeah. So around this time, I even told her, like, hey, that's a joke. They were making a joke. And she was like, what kind of joke is that? And I was like, okay. Like I said, this is from my memory a year ago. All right. So hit the like button, y'all. All right. So around this time that, okay, so Smoke, okay, so the time that Smoke was having his channel, like people really liked him. Okay. Max V, I want to say was his, this might have been like February, March. Max V got a strike for a video from like 3 years prior. And so he started up a second channel. Well, no, let me back it up. I'm confusing some things. Okay, so when Flakko and Shakim and all the good guys, they were going on Smoke's panel. Then they would go to Max's panel, because Max was having like these barbershop chats that were really, really long. And so they would go over there, and then they would be over there. And then I remember the day Flakko went over there, and I was like, oh my Lord, when I saw him. He gets up there, calls Max Unk, and then starts making a comment about basically asking him about what the AFWs are doing with Umar. And I was like, oh, I think he's gonna start some shit. That was just me. But it brought a whole lot of people over that normally wasn't over. And I think this is my opinion. They were going, like at least Flakko was going to different panels, asking questions. And I think what he did at Money Woodgrain, he was trying to do the same thing over on Max's panel. And Max, I feel like, kind of got blindsided because he was just reporting on Umar. He was not an AFW. He was not a good guy. He was just, because he has a whole bunch of other content too. He has almost like 16,000 subscribers. So then he got his channel struck for a video he made like 2 or 3 years prior. So he made a backup page. And so on the backup page, he was still doing like the barbershop town halls. People were coming over. And then the SmokeGod came over. Like all the good guys coming over. There were AFWs. I think did Rev G come over? I think so, because that was when yeah. So he had a backup channel. And then everyone was like going over there at the backup channel. So most of the time, thank you, Jason Moore. Hold on, someone put the SmokeGod got all the and went all the way left. Okay, yep, that's true. Okay. Tifa's came up with the C-Rock Smooth. Yeah, and then KKC mentioned it last night, and he said, because I remember KKC calling out Rev G, saying you're always going over there around the AFW, not the AFW, the good guys, and getting these confrontations, and then you want to know why you're getting into it with all these people. And so he was like, I think you need to stop doing it. And then when he said that, I remember AS telling me like, yeah, we've been telling him about that for a while now, because I kept saying like, I don't know if he was right to tell him out loud like that in front of everyone. And he was like, well, we've been telling him privately all this time. He doesn't listen. And then the whole irony of this is by August, she was in those same places with him doing the same shit. It was crazy, right? So let's jump to now. It's June. I'm doing self-care June. All right. I'm distancing myself from, I'm making parody videos. I have a second channel making parody videos, right? Y'all know it's parody. I'm glad y'all understood it was parody. They called Jason Ward. They called Tifa's. Rev G is Tifa's. At least that's what I heard in his YouTube stream. So by June, I want to say Rev G was on his spot on. Tell me if I'm wrong or not. Was he on his third channel? Because you remember, like okay, so there was some other stuff that happened. I'm sorry, there's so much stuff that happened. Okay, so from end of 2020, the beginning of 2021, like I said, both sides were doxing each other, making videos about each other. Okay, so remember, Poetik Flakko made one about Lenon. Well, Shakim, allegedly, put it like this: allegedly, Poetik Flakko and or Shakim, not quite sure who, put some bad Google reviews on Rev G's wife's business. Okay. So he needed to start a GoFundMe to get a lawyer so they can get those removed. Okay. Now I don't know if that was, but in between that time, Rev G had like, "Oh, I'm leaving." Then a week later, he's back. Now when he came back the second time, I actually liked that channel when he was doing all the mental health stuff and he was coloring and stuff, because there are coloring books for adult people. I was all with it. He had the dolls. I think those were his daughter's dolls, and he did a skit or something. But then the good guys took that, and the good guys just ran with it, and it became a whole nother thing. Then I think he left. Then he came back, and then when the whole thing about his wife's business came about, and then I think I want to say around the same time, or maybe a little bit later, Shakim was going to do a story and interview some guy that Shakim said was a student of Rev G and that he had did something inappropriate. And then when that happened, I think Rev G left. And then the next thing you know, we heard he got fired from his job because they didn't let him know about what was being on the internet. And people like me and Dr. Nikki, we did give to him to get a GoFundMe. We were getting like updates. At least I got one or two, I think, in my email. I believed it was for taking down the things about his wife. Now, other people feel like, oh, you got this money, you got a new truck. And I was like, new truck? What new truck y'all see? But I don't know. But you have to understand, by this time, there was like a lot of Rev G haters. I'm just saying. People that didn't like him. Then, yeah, there are coloring books for adults. Mm-hmm. So I want to say it was around June. I remember this around June. I was doing the parody videos about stuff that's going on in the sector. She was not liking my parody videos, by the way. And then finally, I just came out because it was like Binary was doing his binary stuff, but I still didn't think he should, call his job and have people call his job for his channel. And then next thing I know, I see she has a video about Max V. And I think Binary started it. What she did to Binary was like the match that led me like, okay, I need to distance myself from her. When I finally came out and it wasn't in a parody, how I felt about her and what she was doing was when she did the videos about Max. Because I was like, Max is not a good guy. He's not a good guy adjacent. He's never made a video about her. And the only reason she went after him because Rev G was in his chat and Max made a joke. Basically implying that the AFWs, are like a criminal organization. And then when she did the video talking about, well, first, before she got to actually Max, she started with Big Man. And this is the thing. What she really was upset about was the people who left KKC, went to SmokeGod's chat, and them same people went to BinaryCode's chat, and then them same people went to Max V's chat. So she was really upset about the group of people and where they were going and giving their support. And she didn't like the content those people were doing. Okay. And she said, oh, her supporters have said that they're concerned about the stuff that Big Man says on Max V's chat. And I'm thinking like, at first, I didn't know what they were talking about. But then again, my friends were like, hey, some of the stuff Big Man says is kind of creepy. Okay, it's kind of creepy. So, but he wasn't the only person on Max Max's panel that people had a problem with. Because remember, I did an interview with the Al Show, Albert Lanier. I was suggested by an AFW, Black Anonymous, who I think is probably the realest, really true AFW. She said, "Hey, I think." Oh no, Al said, "Oh, Black Anonymous suggested you or Hip Hop Censored do an interview about my article about Umar Johnson." I read the article, thought it was good. There was some insightful things there. Not everybody was, not everybody was feeling Al. Not everybody was feeling Al. But it seemed like Al then wanted to stay and defend himself, like when people like Nappy Yankee gave him constructive criticism about, and other people did too. The good guys really didn't like it. They were like, "Who is this white man? Why did she bring him to the sector?" Then it was the irony was like months later, he was always on y'all damn panel. I'm like, how y'all complain about him being in the sector, then you let him up there on the panel? I understand. Yeah, he has very right, exactly. I don't know, Spider. That's a good question. I've heard that, but I don't know. Okay, and this is the thing about Big Man. Big Man, if you see him in Let's Get Into It, ENJ, KKC, and Lenon, his humor there was different than what it was in Max. Okay, I would say ENJ, he's PG. KKC, he's PG-13. Okay, Lenon, he's PG-13. Sometimes he on the cuss, almost an R. But when he was in Max chat, it was NC-17 all the time. But it was like she was going at the people on panels, right? So later, she did a video about Max, and told people to contact Uber Eats. And I'm like, that man didn't do nothing to you. Because he did a joke. And then Max talked about how he got swatted one day. And I was just like, Lord, have mercy here. Fix it, Jesus, right? So that's when I came out with my constructive criticism video. A lot of people were like, oh, you finally see it. Yes, you were right. It was concise. But then after that, her videos, which I knew she was going to come after me eventually, her videos was criticizing me for not being critical of other people besides her. Like, oh, why didn't you go criticize them for this? And then her thing was, oh, let me see, a transcript hasn't been an AFW for less than a year. So she really doesn't know what she's talking about. Then it was putting the comments of my people in my chat on a thumbnail, which, by the way, I wasn't the only one, because it was like different people. I want to say Glorion was one of the first. She was doing it in rotation. It was a video about Glorion, Stargate, Max, the SmokeGod. Then it was about people on a panel. They started getting clipped in her videos. Then people in my chat who were commenting were getting put on a thumbnail. And I was coming to their defense because they were also defending me, and I felt like, hey, we just can't stand here and not say nothing. And here she is just making videos on you because she disagrees with you. I disagree with her. I no longer gave her the support she previously had. I was no longer her flying monkey. And that has been a repeated pattern the rest of 2021 and now in 2022. Think of all the people, because Max ended up leaving July and then coming back at the end of August. Okay. And then the videos about me. Then there was videos about who else the videos about? Beautiful Bernice. There was videos about Cher Witty. I think Rev G came back again. By that time, we got Carrie Ann is in the sector. And I think Carrie Ann and Vita V and Nikki came on my show. It was like a girls' night or whatever. And again, my chat was, oh, the Lost Field live streams, cackling hands. I was like, what the hell? So okay. So it was a constant rotation on her channel. Now, why this is happening now? This is on the AFW side. Guess what's happening on the good guy side? The good guys are fighting. Okay. Now, LB the Snake Man, if he's still here, he started having debates. Slander God was having Fuckery Friday. He also had a history series where he had people on either side, AFW or good guy side, come up and give their history of themselves being in a sector. He wanted me to come do it. I said I would do it when one of the other AFWs do it first, but he contacted them and they didn't want anything to do with it. So, which probably was a smart thing to do. Rev G was supposed to come up there and do it, but then he backed out of it, probably because she told him so. No. I think he did go up there. Didn't he? Am I wrong, y'all? Oh yeah, that was. Yeah, and that's when I saw that. That's when you started not seeing her in his chat, and you also started not seeing her later on. She got unwrenched in KKC, and then let's get into it. E and J start putting up a disclaimer like, hey, these are the rules of the chat. We're gonna be nice in the chat. We're not gonna say anything bad about in the chat. And so those were also places that I was going, and other people too that she didn't like were also going too. And so those content creators, I guess, didn't support her idea of not having, Glorion or Beautiful Bernice or whoever else in their chat. Those were their mods or those their supporters, and so I think that also made her feel some type of way. So because next thing you know, like a video after video, it was a rotation. It was like it was Max, it was me, it was SmokeGod, Bernice, Stargate, and Gloria. It was like, and then Cher was doing her videos. Cher's a therapist, and then and I still believe this, they doxed her and then hit her channel with copyright strikes. And then so she started getting on the videos. Okay. So and then later on, Nikki and Carrie Ann started to. And then the book, it was like are you in the book of thumbnails and stuff like that? And I want to say, y'all help me, my memory's starting to fade on me. Oh, like I said, infighting with the good guys. Right? Infighting with the good guys. So remember, D. Darrell called the Godfather. You got Poetik Flakko. You got Shakim Ra. You also got TCTV. Do y'all remember who the other good guys were? Okay, so LB the Snake Man was having these debates. Rev G was supposed to do one of the debates. I forget against who, but he backed out of it at the last minute. He has gone on to Slander God, SmokeGod, Max's chat. And occasionally he would come to mine. So, but I'm not sure if he he deleted his channel or not. It's so many times he deleted that channel of his. I can't keep up anymore. So okay. Yeah. So I want to say he did go to Slander God and do a history. Okay. But anyway, the good guys, they were fighting, and I guess because it seems that I started seeing the writing on the wall. I knew that they were gonna have a conflict soon. Flakko and Shakim. Like they were buddies. They were like, I guess I could say the Doxing buddies. If we could say that, maybe not. But they had a debate. I think Flakko won the first one. Was there a second one? Y'all, so tell me, was there a second one? Okay. So I noticed that after the second one, they started making videos about each other. And then it was supposedly, this is also the time like, hey, you know, Shakim is suing AAS. I think another channel got a strike or deleted. Don TCTV has a conflict with Tiff G because Don was doing work at FDMG and wasn't paid by Dr. Johnson over an ID. So we saw that conflict over there. And then, y'all go to KKC page. He did 3 parts to Don, Tiff Griff, and TCTV, aka the Ghost, aka Concentrated, about this Don situation. Oh Lord. Now Don did deserve that money, but I think the way he came about that he just wanted the cash apps, he sounded a lot like Umar. He just wanted the money. He didn't really want to like get the services that there were out there. Like, hey, you're gonna get this job, we're gonna get you this apartment, we're gonna get you help with these services. You know, he wanted to be a free or whatever like that. So it was just like, okay. He was interviewed on Let's Get Into It, E&J. He had his own channel. I think he still has a channel. Thank you. Okay, yeah. Oh, yes, there was a second debate. Okay, thank you, GT student. You keeping me on my toes. Remind me. All right. So they were having that conflict. And then I think there was also, did Tiff Griff have a conflict with Shakim too? I remember she made a comment about, won't you get some type of ID? Won't you ask Shakim? Because he know how to make them fake ones or something like that. And I was like, so I want to say that yeah. So they were having their own like their infighting, and people were going to Don's chat, listen to him. I had videos about Don, but then Don was like trying to get me or probably one of the other AFWs to go after Tiff G because of what she was doing. I just didn't feel like I wasn't in the mood for that. So, okay. So like I said, all this was going on. All at the same time, Al is on Max's panel. Then he going on other panels, quote unquote, defending himself. But then after a while, it was like people just had him on there because they can make jokes off of him or they can roast him. Like Stargate had started her own channel. He was over there on Binary. Was he ever on Slander God? The SmokeGod, I believe. But then he finally, but everyone kept saying like Max V, we and at first I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but then I finally told him on Max V's panel one time, I said, dude, and this is when he said, oh, I think AS did a video on him. And then she got on me about why y'all keep talking about Al. It's like, man, let me block you right now. I can't handle this no more. And then she did a video about Al and then said Then Al said, "Oh yeah, hers was the most subjective about you because she said nice stuff about you. Nothing was negative. Nothing was constructive criticism." And I still say the only reason why she was making on pro L videos was to get back at everybody else who didn't like him. He was on those attack panels. Remember, everyone had an attack panel, you know. So, but Al did wear out his welcome. And at first said I don't want a channel. I just like to come up here and talk. You know, that's my job. That's what I'm here for. He said on Max V. We were like, that's what you're here for. But then finally Max was like, finally kicked him out and then let him back. So, and then Max kind of like went back and forth with SmokeGod and some other people in the chat. And then finally, I forget where. Is Max still here? Max, when did you leave the chat? When did you? I think Max officially left the beginning of the year. I think, like, officially left the sector. Like, there may have been like 2 other times where he talked about something because they were always. I think they would do things in cycles. Someone would like text him or make a video about him. He would ignore it, and then he would finally respond, and then finally he just stopped doing those videos and he stopped going to other people you know, in the sector's chat, and I've seen him occasionally in mine, so like tonight. So but yeah, so like they were having their disagreement, and then finally after Tiff and TCV had their issue over the Don situation, then finally it was Poetik Flakko and Shakim, and I was like, oh, I knew it was going to happen. Like, it was after, I think, the second debate, and they were doing videos about each other. They were talking crazy to each other when they were on panels, but both of them at the same time, both of them are part of the good guys. Then somewhere along the way, I want to say, was it the fall of 2021, y'all, when the good guys fired or kicked out Miss T Pre and Shakim? Am I right or am I wrong? And I think there was also, I believe her name is Catherine Brown. She had a lawsuit that started up, and I think that also contributed. Oh, it's just Shakim. Okay, thank you, Secretary, for correcting me. And I think that was around the time that Catherine Brown was also filing her lawsuit, I think. And I think that was around the time, I think TCTV, one of his channels, got deleted or moved, and he came back as Couch Potato. Am I right or wrong? Please hit the like button. If you like the content and you like to support the Let Me See Your Transcript channel, there is my Cash App. Because the StreamYard bill is $29.99 a month. Also, my YouTube Premium, so I don't have any ads, is $17.99 a month. So if you would like to contribute and support the Let Me See Your Transcript channel, please hit us with the Cash App. It was very much appreciated. Okay, so it was right. Catherine Brown started doing these lawsuits, and then all of a sudden, and then we saw Ghost or TCTV, can't keep up. He became Couch Potato. D Darrell had another channel, the Sectors TV, started coming in. Shakim was no longer, and the good guys. Sir, you have to email me about that. Okay. He's about free 99. And by the way, I'm a content creator. That YouTube Premium helps to me to get money from that. So Yeah. When your video has a yellow designation, you get money from the YouTube Premium. When you get it from the green, that means the ads that are played on your channel, you get money from each of those being played. Be quiet. YouTube Premium is helping me. They hit my cash up then. Slide them down. You want me to go for ad blockers free 99? Oh, hey, Vici. Vici, I'm a screenshot on my phone. I'm a screenshot of this. But then I'm going to delete it because we don't want them to know. Okay. All right. Thank you, Vici. Thank you. Thank you, Spider. And by the way, if you do watch the video and you don't have the ad blocker, can y'all please watch the ad, please? I appreciate it very much. Hey, Varied Perspectives. Okay. All right. Hey, why do I have 25 watching, only 20 likes? Come on now. Don't treat me like that. Don't treat me like that. Okay? Don't do me like that. All right? Hit the like button. If you can't send a cash app, please hit the like button. It helps me with the algorithm because the more likes I have, the more likely YouTube will push that to even more and more people. So when we tell you to hit the like button, we are really telling you for a reason. Okay. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so Shakim still had his lawsuit against AAS. Catherine Brown was hitting people with lawsuits. The next thing you know, there was no more good guys. We were like, oh, so there are no more good guys? And by this time, the only AFWs left was Rev G and AAS because KKC said, I'm not an AFW. I don't know if Lenon ever said he was or not, but it's like both of them were not messing with both of them. I left, or according to them, I was kicked out. And then I made a joke like, oh, you can't kick me out because I'm a new president. And then I made a parody videos about it. And people still to this day said I lied and said I was the new president of the AFW and I was taking money. No, I wasn't. It's a parody. Parody videos. Why can't people understand that? Hey, Yaya Messenger. Why my gift GT student gonna be like that? Okay, so where was I? Okay, so because of that, Second TV was on a new channel. Couch Protect Ghost TCTV was on his new channel. Flakko started doing hip hop trending topics. He said he left the sector. No, he didn't. And this is my explanation. But he would come back and be on a panel in the chat. And then every time he come on the panel, he would trash the sector and then throw shots at Shakim. So, yeah. Let me see. What happened this last fall? Somebody else gonna have to do 2022. I'm doing 2020 to 2021. Okay. I know the videos about me ramped up. They're still in rotation. I had to get a lawyer to do some things legally. I had to let my job know what's going on. I started making videos about her. She kept making the videos about me. This is where the Black church sector enters. All right. So remember, Rev G left, right? So I was in a video. I forget what video it was. on my channel, Rev G showed up. Rev G was a mod on my channel. If you were a content creator, you was a mod. He in the front of Charlton, if you're still here, let me know if this is correct. So the Friday Charlatans is in the chat. A lot of people in the chat. And all of a sudden, Rev G starts talking to the Friday Charlatans about something the Friday Charlatans said in someone else's chat. And I said, and him and the Friday Charlatans was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay? Then I say to both of them, I say, you two are moderators. If y'all can't stop fighting, I'm going to take your wrench away. Because guess what? You're a moderator. You're supposed to be moderating the chat so that other people are not fighting or throwing off, the live with stuff that's not, craziness. I can't have both of you in here. Y'all are mods fighting. And then literally there are other people in the chat would say, what's going on with the mods? Right? So when I said, I need you both to stop argue with each other and I will take your mod stick, Rev G says, you can take mine right now. I don't care. So guess what I did? I took his wrench back. Then the next thing you know, here he go making videos about me. Called me Glenda. No, he called me the Wicked Witch of the West from the Wiz. But then I made a video calling him the Cowardly Liar from the Wiz. So it was a little bit of back and forth for a while. But then when I make videos about her, then she made videos about me. So it was for a while, right? And then lo and behold, around November, someone sends me a link, says, Rev G is on Conscious TV talking about you. And I'm like, what? What? I go over there, my whole name is in the title. He's telling them about all the stuff that I did in the Umar Johnson sector. And now what ended up happening is my enemies that I had in the church sector, which I was still in, and the enemies I had in the Umar Johnson sector and the black sector got together, which I had a feeling that they were going to eventually go to that side and pair up. But I always thought it would be the other way around. I always thought the black church sector people would come over here and pair it up. I actually thought one of the mods, which I guess I'll name, Liz Martin, who I actually saw first in the black church sector, would get AAS to come over and contact, Conscious TV, KLM, and other people, right? But all I saw, heard everything they said about me. And I saw them in the chat. I'll screenshot a lot of stuff. I actually downloaded that video. But then it was all that the Umar Johnson sector could talk about for the next 3 months. Let me see your transcript. You did what to her? Breaking the cultural silence. You did what? You did what? Who are you with? Who is this A-team? So what ended up happening is all these black church sector people came over, including Com. And the Secktah TV did invite Com over, but then Secktah TV found out the hard way that some of those church people was crazy, right? And then that's when I did that black church sector video. I was like, y'all over here welcoming these new people into y'all's chat and stuff. They knew, and you don't even know what these people done did. I say, y'all, and I try to warn people about certain people in the black church sector. I think some of y'all heard me. Some of y'all was like, well, that's your issue with her. It's not issue with me. But you were right. But, okay. I still got that video by the way, anyway. And in fact, let me put it in the chat. Just okay. I think some of y'all need a refresher. Okay, here it is. Who's who in the Black church sector. Then that led to, like I said, some new actors being added to the sector from the Black church sector. So then again, now all of a sudden you saw calm, breaking the culture of silence, and anti-Afro comments, and then Rev G's chat, and then vice versa. Okay, you started seeing AS shout out Knockout Media and What You Gonna Do About It as her newest supporters, which now What You Gonna Do About It, she making videos about him now. So you see how that works? You're a fly monkey, then you start questioning them, and they start making videos about you. What month did Al get kicked out? Oh, I forgot to mention this. Okay, so as the two remaining AFWs had nowhere else to go but Rev G's chat when it was available, or AS's comments when it was available, they had no other place to go. Then lo and behold, we all saw both of them in the SmokeGod chat hanging out. Also, Al started hanging out over there too. Also, Grown Man and Me and Mines. And people were like, a year ago, she said, called him the smoke goop. Said he had a lost field stream. Said he had attack panels. And everybody was confused. Confused. But I think the only reason why she went over there because the SmokeGod was making videos about Max. That's what I think. And then she used him to make comments about me. So, anything else I need to cover? I think I got to December 2021. Anybody remember anything I missed? I know, like I said, this is from my recollection. That's why I was asking some of you to put things in the comments that I may have forgotten or I need to add. Oh, I forgot. There were some videos that she made about Humble King, because in my series I did Surviving AS. I did number 1. I did Beautiful Bernice. Number 2 was Gloria Murray, and number 3 was Humble King. But those videos are not available. On YouTube. So, because I told her back in November, she said only a court order will means she's not making no more of the videos. And I said I will see her in court. Eventually it's going to get there. Slow process. No, I didn't. When? Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, you mean when? What do you mean multi-state investigation? What month was that? Was that when he deleted his channel for the second time or the third time? Or when he talked about he wanted to do something about Shakim? When he said he was going to make that video about the student that Rev G allegedly did something to. Yeah, it was a lot of lawsuits. Contacting FBI, contacting lawyers, police report, people calling CPS. I wasn't one of them, even though people like to tell you that. Oh, it coincided with Archibald, interestingly. Ooh, Stephanie, your memory is better than me about that. I think you're right. Was that when he was doing the GoFundMe? Was it the GoFundMe? Okay, so I also want to say later part of 2021, there was some things going on with Carrie Ann, Al making comments about Carrie Ann on BinaryCode panel, and I believe Nikki basically told Binary that she didn't like it. He felt called out about it, and then so he started making videos about me after AS will make a video. It was seeming like, and then he started hanging out over there in the SmokeGod chat, or whoever chat that was, Grown Man, me and mine's, and what else? I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Y'all remember when Saga was on her channel and she had Ghost and Al was there. And so someone came in the room with Al and said, "You making too much noise. You're gonna get us in trouble with the landlord." And so that's when Ghost started talking about, "Dude, are you in a nursing home?" And that was the longest running, I don't know, joke for like a really, really long time. Okay, I think, oh, he said it was around the same time. I think Rev G's case is more important than we tend to generally say. Oh, and that's what he said. Is that why he said he was upset with, and AS told me this, about, oh, he was upset because he gave the investigator Lenon and KKC's number and they didn't call him back or something like that. I remember getting a little bit wrong because, like I said, it was a year ago. Okay, yes. Okay, that was it. All right. Well, y'all, I've been on here almost an hour and 45 minutes. I'm gonna go in somebody's chat. Probably gonna watch KKC's replay or go to Max V World Media. So if I left out anything, please put it in the comments. Please put it in the comments. Like, hey, let me see your transcript. You forgot about this. Okay. Oh, this is what happened from our end. Because remember, I'm going off of, memory. Since this time, I was going to say, when I was a flying monkey, AS was still doing videos about D Darrell, but then she would give me stuff so I could do videos about D Darrell. So since then, I've apologized to Tiff Griff, D Darrell, and also Shakim Ra because I was being a flying monkey. I thought like I was on the right side. I thought everything she said was the truth. And then I found out later on, it's like, oh. I also apologized to Gloria Murray. I was like, I was believing her, what she said about you, and it wasn't true, So I've changed my ways. I'm trying to change my ways. Be a better person. Be a better, let me see a transcript, and a content creator. Oh, someone's devices were seized pursuant to a search warrant. Okay. Well, I want to thank you, Adriana Thornton, Stephanie Collins. Yeah, the messenger. Fuck the ops disrespectfully. Very perspectives. Vici. Secktah TV. Make a change. The Friday Charlatan. Finish that housework. Jason Moore. LSUK presents. Knowledge TV. Okay. German Aboard, RENT, Edutainment, DJ Drama, LV the Snake Man, Jay the Emperor, Black Butterfly 63, Pastor Vic, Max V World Media. Like I said, if I forgotten something or I needed to add some more detail to something, please put it in the comments. And that's her own kind of events she published in her own words. Yeah, that's true. All right. So this is LMSYT transcript. You're ready for a history teacher. Please like, share, subscribe. Here's one of my previous videos. This is the history of the Black chart sector. So this is also going into, this was like, anyway, it was just a follow-up video. Okay. I also could have talked about Knockout Media also entering this space, but I think y'all I went over him in the Black chart sector space, and y'all seen him over here. So yeah, he got welcomed by AAS, probably some more subs, and then getting into it with the Sexist TV and other people in the Umar sector to the sector. I think he called us weird or something. Y'all weird, crazy people over here or whatever like that. And then he started doing videos on people over here. And it was just like, okay, dude, like what you doing? So, all right. Like I said, me, Sexist TV, and Shakim Ra, I apologize to both of them. They eventually, accepted my apology. And we cool. Even though they're not cool with each other, I'm cool with them. And ironically, we all got one particular person that we got in common that we're in some legal matter with. Interesting. Hey, Holmes, Erica. You got to catch the replay. I'm about to end the show. But thank you for coming. I appreciate it. So, all right. Y'all have a good night. I'll probably see somebody in someone's chat. Okay. So check out my boy video. Check out the Black Church Sector video. Check out my Young Pharaoh video. Woo, that was an interesting one. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.